Well, hello there, Skywinders. Welcome back to another episode of Skywind007. Today we're doing a review on the Xtool AD20. So there's plenty of reviews of this product on YouTube, but the reason why I decided to go ahead and do another review is because the other reviewers were not thorough enough in my opinion. So we're going to look at this very closely. I want to go through every little thing so you can better see it, because the other guys, they just rush through it. If you're wondering why you want to have one of these, if you're not a mechanic, and the reason would be because if you have a car problem, you can check it and see what the problem is, and you might have an idea what you can expect a mechanic to charge you. I have a friend that had a MAP sensor problem, and he went to a mechanic. The mechanic just cleaned the MAP sensor, charged him $1,000 for that. And if you know what a MAP sensor is, you'll know that that's too much. So this might give you an idea of what the repair cost might be. Also, if you're going on a long trip, you might want to check your engine before you take that long trip, just like you check your oil and the coolant. You can do a scan before you do a cross-country trip. I've done that before with a different scan tool. And lastly, if you're buying a car, brand new, not a brand new car, well, even a brand new car, but if you're buying a used car, you might want to give it a scan and see if everything's okay with that car. So let's first upload the app. Alright, so keep in mind that I'm using an old phone because I want to record with my iPhone. So if you see any lagging, don't blame the app, it's the phone. This phone is rubbish basically. So it's installing, and by the way, I'm only doing this because every time I skip this process, the pairing process, I get people in the comments saying that I didn't do the most important thing. And I would think that pairing something via Bluetooth would be easy and standard. But some people need help with that, so that's the only reason why I'm doing this. So if you want, you can skip through this. And I'm sure most people would be able to skip through this. So give all the permissions. I'm going to do this off camera because this is personal information. Okay, so you put in a email address and a password, and it doesn't even ask you to verify anything. It just goes right in. So that's pretty cool. So now let's activate a paired device. So I guess I have to go to my car and do that from there. Let's go to the car. Okay, so we're in my car now. This is a 2005 Nissan Sentra. And before we plug it in, we have to activate this. So don't plug it in yet. Let's go to the app. Okay, so after signing in, let's pair the device. So let's click activate paired device. Now click scan QR code. And there we go. Confirm. Okay, so we are ready. So now let's plug in the OBDII scanner on the car. I know you can't see that. And now click start pairing. And put the key in the ignition. But you don't have to turn on the engine. Okay, so here we have our vehicle information. I'm blocking the VIN number. Click pair, confirm, and click confirm. So we are ready. So it's now doing the self-checking. So let's just wait. So it does that automatically. Once you enter the app, it automatically starts self-checking. And this is an older car. This is a 2005 Nissan Sentra, so it's going to take longer than it would on a modern car. Okay, so it says your car is in good condition. Please keep the good habits when driving. Okay, so if you want, you can press quick test. Again, you don't have to turn on the engine for this kind of test. So as you can see, the engine load, it says 0, RPM 0. My car doesn't support the fuel level. Throttle is almost 0. Okay, so now we get 4 more checks. Let's start with the OBD. Check now. So my car does not support supercharging system because it's not electric. Okay, so no OBD faults found in the car. So it passes that test. Let's go back. So that was test number 1. Let's do number 2, in-depth check. So it's downloading some data from Nissan. So it's asking me my region. So I'm in the United States. So let's click USA and confirm. Okay, so we're going to start with the engine. So it's looking at the engine. Of course, I do have an engine. This is a gasoline car. Okay, so now we're moving to the transmission. This does have a transmission. Okay, so let's move on to the steering and brakes. And the steering wheel, I recently did an alignment. So there should be no faults with that. There should be no codes for airbags. Okay, so now it's checking for any other systems. Okay, so it says car checks, no faults found. So that's accurate because I know this car is, even though it's old, everything's working perfectly with it. Okay, so let's do the third check, the smog check. Start checking. Please make sure that the current engine is in idle mode and the gearbox is in parking mode when testing. So let me turn on the engine. Let's click next. Confirm. Okay, so the mill status is off and there are no faults, no unsolved faults and no permanent faults. Okay, so this is good. Okay, so let's turn on the engine. Confirm. So everything's okay as far as this. So smog checks, I think it's basically the same as reading the OBDII codes. Let's check the mode 6. So I'm not really sure what mode 6 can do for you. We're going to check it anyway. I guess you have to be a mechanic to really understand about mode 6. Okay, so this is the results for the mode 6. So I have no idea what I'm looking at. So that was mode 6, so let's do component test. Okay, so let's test the throttle detection. Okay, so it's 15%. So let's do the fuel correction control system detection. I doubt that this vehicle supports this. Okay, so this one did have a result. So it says currently the mixture richness is lower than normal. The reason might be their airflow meter is incorrect. So now the fuel correction control system is working normally. The mixture richness is good. So I guess it fixed it. I don't know. Let's go back. So let's do the airflow sensor detection. This car is very old, so it might not be able to detect anything. Oh, so I'm having trouble with this. So I think that this car just doesn't support this test. So I'll test another car, a more modern one, off camera, and I'll let you know if it's any different. So that was component test. Okay, so now let's test the battery on this car. So let's start the engine. So we're going to idle it for 3 minutes. Confirm. Stop the engine. Start the engine. Okay, so it says that your battery is in good condition. Please keep the good habits when driving and test regularly. Okay, so let's move on to Smart Dash. So you got choices. You can choose that one or this one or any of that. And then you got this performance test. I don't see why you would want to know that because you can't make any changes to your car. If it's a slow car, it's a slow car. And then you got this. Again, I don't know why you want to know that. And then we have the maintenance reset light if the car supports that. Okay, and that was it. Okay, folks, so we have reached the end of this review, and as you saw in the video, it was fairly good. I have no major complaints. Everything went well. The more modern your car is, the better this is. I have an older car. I tested it on different vehicles, and it can do a lot on an older car, but on a newer car, it can do a lot more, like testing your transmission. If you're wondering why you need this if you're not a mechanic, I got 3 arguments. Number 1, if you have a faulty car, something's wrong with your car, you want to have an idea how much you're going to have to pay, for the repairs, you can use this, find the codes, find the faults, get an idea what the problem is. For example, oxygen sensor. And you can go on the internet and have an idea how much it's going to take, how much money it's going to cost to replace that oxygen sensor or whatever sensor it may be. So this helps you in that. Number 2, if you are going to make a long trip, for example, I live far away from the airport, 2 hours. So if you're going to make a long trip far away from everything, and just like you check your coolant level and you check your oil level, and you make sure that the car has a lot of gas, enough to make it to that point, you can check the engine and make sure there are no issues. For example, this lets you check the battery. That's a good idea. If you're going to go all the way to the airport far away, you're going to want to come back from that airport. And to come back, you need to turn the engine on. And without a good battery, you can't do that. So you need to check your engine, and this helps you in that. And number 3, if you're buying a new, not a new car, but a used car, and even a new car, you can use this to make sure everything's okay with that car. If you have you're buying a car that has 100,000 miles in it, should you pay, I don't know, $6,000 for it, $5,000 for it? Plug it in, make sure there are no major faults, no major issues. If you see that somebody recently deleted all the codes, that means that car has had an electrical issue that they can't fix, so they're selling it because they can't fix it. If that car has a permanent code there, the overheating, you know that's not a car you want to buy, because a car that's been overheating probably has some permanent engine damage. So this can help you check that out, look into that. So those are the 3 good reasons why you want to get one of these, even if you're not a mechanic and you don't know how to work on a car. So I did like everything. I did test the alternator. I checked the oxygen sensor. It gives you the voltages and everything. It's not a tool for mechanics. If you're a mechanic, you might want to get something more like this and like this. This is for mechanics because this will let you graph. You can see the graphs. For example, if you're checking the oxygen sensor or even the math sensor, you can graph with this. If you're checking the battery or alternator, this will tell you the health of the battery. This will not. This will tell you if it's good or not, but it won't tell you the health of the battery. So I guess if you're buying a battery, you might want to know. So this will tell you if it's good, but this will tell you if it's brand new or if it's midlife or getting old. So it's not like I said, it's not a tool for mechanics, not for the professional. This is a tool for the average person, the average man, the average woman that has a car and wants to have some insight. So overall, I do recommend this product. I think it's great. And I do like all the animations. They did a very good job, and you can tell that this company, AD Advancer, they're serious about their product. You can tell how much effort they put in making the apps and making this. So I'm very impressed, and I definitely, if you're going to invest in something, it's a good idea to go with this company. And they do have a more advanced version of this. I think it's called the AD. This is the AD20. This is the AD20pro. I believe they had the AD30M, which is the professional version of this that will tell you even more things and can do tests like testing the coolant fan and all the actuation tests. It's a bi-directional tester, just like this one. So it's basically this combined into one little device, and it does graphing like this one does, and it does more than even this does, because it does the actuation test, and it has I believe it has on the live data, it has the normal references. I'm not 100% sure about that. This one does not have those normal references, and it's only like 150 bucks. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put the price on the screen. While this one was almost $400, so definitely this does a whole lot more. The advanced version, that not this one, but this is the AD20 Pro, but the AD30M does a lot more than this, and it's less than half the price of this. So in any case, I do recommend this product. So thank you for watching, subscribe, and thumbs up.